This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. Healthcare professionals can lead their careers with LinkedIn. Discover jobs by specialty, preferred shifts, and even desired salary. From mental health therapists to radiology technicians, it's now faster and easier for healthcare professionals to find the right fit. Learn more at linkedin.com/healthcare. Side effects may include faster job placement, improved work-life balance, and increased career satisfaction.
Every Who down in Who Newville liked the holidays a ton. But where to get great prices on gifts, they had no idea. None. They searched and they searched for great gifts under $25. Gifts for spouses and friends and even their toddlers. When suddenly one Who shouted, Walmart has what you want, knowing they have Lego, Tree Hut, and low prices to flaunt. So they enjoy the holiday season as Who's often do. Cheering and shouting, Walmart has incredible gifts. Who knew? Find gifts they'll love under $25 at Walmart.
Hi, it's Dave here. This is my wife, Kathy.
Hello.
This is the Cinemile. It's the podcast where we walk home from the movies. Today we're walking to the biggest movie of the year that everybody has been eagerly anticipating.
Of course.
The kids are talking about it on the school ground. The boomers are talking about it on their telephone devices.
I saw a poster for this and I thought, oh, that's nice. They were playing old avatars over Christmas. Only to realise, no, they've made another Avatar. Which
There's a new Avatar.
Truly nobody is talking about.
Yeah, it's quite incredible.
It's quite incredible,
This movie
yeah.
came out of nowhere, even though James Cameron is on the record as saying that he plans for 5 Avatar movies. So we're not even halfway through.
We're not. And because this movie is, I think, 3 hours and 45 minutes, which is unconscionable.
That's not true. It's like 3:20, isn't it, or something?
I thought I read it was
3:17.
Oh, I thought I read it was 3:40.
No, that's not
okay.
right.
Maybe that's including credits. We wouldn't like.
Oh yeah, the credits are 25 minutes long.
In any good conscience, ask anyone to mind our kids for that long. So we are gonna. It's the weekend before Christmas as well. Everyone's too busy. We're gonna go separately. I didn't want to see this movie. I have no interest in it. And Dave said, we have to see it for the podcast. Everyone's going to be really interested in Avatar. I'm like, are they? I don't know.
Well, I think people want to know what we think of Avatar.
As opposed to wanting to watch it.
Yeah, and
themselves.
I don't know if people are going to go see it or not. But that said, also, they make $1 billion. These movies make $1 billion
Well,
every time.
have made.
In the past.
Yeah.
And I am on the record as really liking Avatar and really liking Avatar 2, The Shape of Water. No, that's not it. The Way of Water or something like that.
Yeah.
I saw that movie twice.
Yeah, that's deranged. We have reviewed that movie on the
I liked
feed,
it.
so people can go back and listen to that.
Now it's not. These movies are very. The plot are straight out of the 90s. There's nothing new to be had there. But James Cameron's always on the cutting edge of and pushes the filmmaking industry forward in terms of technology.
Does, yeah.
And I found being back watching that, like those watery scenes in 3D.
Mm-hmm.
It was like it is a big blockbuster experience that I really enjoyed. So
I was
I'm
excited.
hoping to get a big spectacle here, like big cinema.
I was excited last time I came back because it had been like a decade.
Yeah.
And, there was a period in time where we had a lot of 3D movies. We don't have any anymore. So I was so excited to be back in the world, back in the visuals. And then very quickly, the lack of story really kind of caught up with me and I lost interest. So now it's only been 3 years maybe since the last one. I'm no longer as excited for the technology or to be back in 3D. So I'm hoping for this one that he has refined and done a better story. However, the duration tells me that's probably unlikely.
Kathy,
but I'm going in hopefully.
Give me a quick synopsis of the plot of Avatar: The Way of Water. If I'd asked you, what's good about you is if I'd asked you this 1 week after seeing it, we would have had the same response. You're very good at purging your memory cache.
It's broad, like it's Sully and his wife and their kids
Sully
moving from the Avatar land of the first movie to more of an underwater type land.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping this movie is like all set
Fireland.
in fire.
Yeah. What drives me nuts is that seems to be now he's doing elements for each movie, like pulling from the much superior Avatar franchise of The Last Airbender, which is all about every season is a different element.
I'll be excited about the visuals on this one though, because I like the underwater stuff was truly gorgeous in the last one. What's bizarre to me is there are so few 3D screenings of this. There's one a day in our local cinema, so we're going to go on separate days so that we can both get a 3D screening. I do not understand why anyone would watch these movies in 2D.
There's very
There's-
few. Yeah, I
there's
think
no
that's very
point to
strange.
it.
I feel like 3 years ago, every screening of this was in
It
3D.
wasn't. It was still a lot
Was
of
it not?
2Ds, but not
Oh.
like this. Like there's none. Like all the cinemas across Cork essentially only have one 3D a day. It's
Yeah.
really weird. But it's James Cameron's fault for making them so long.
Have you seen any marketing for this?
Nothing.
Not a bit.
Not a bit.
It's
And
not
we
on
do-
buses.
It's interesting with Avatar as well, and like people all across culture talk about this. Avatar movies are huge, right? Partially the box office will be inflated because of like the extra cost of 3D screenings and whatnot. But Avatar movies are huge. They always run really well into the Christmas holidays, so people pick them up. Like they last weeks at the top of the box office, so everyone watches them. But then no one has anything to say about them.
Yeah, they're very low cultural footprint,
Exactly.
but big box office returns.
Yeah,
which
so-
is a weird. That doesn't make sense.
It's strange, but it kind of fits into it being more of like a theme park ride than a movie, I think.
Yeah.
But however, Dave's going to go see it today. I'm going to go see it tomorrow.
and we won't talk. We don't talk in the middle.
Nope.
We won't even look at each other.
Which usually there's a bit of a body language vibe when one of us comes out of a film first.
I'll do my best.
We'll be back in a couple of days, but mere moments for you to review Avatar: Fire and Ash.
See you in a minute.
You cannot live like this, baby. In hate.
If there is something you can do, then you must do it.
The children.
No, Spider. And we will find another way.
Okay, hi, we're back. We have both seen Avatar: Fire and Ash. If it's your first time here at the cinema, we won't spoil Avatar: Fire and Ash. Kathy wouldn't be able to spoil it because she doesn't know what happened because I think she was asleep for most of it. Sounds
I
like.
slept for about 40 minutes
Had a great
and
sleep.
sadly woke up and realised I had approximately 2 hours left. So
Okay.
top lines on the film.
Yeah, tell us what you thought.
Like I was once again thrilled to have 3D glasses on and be watching 3D because I just love 3D. Cinema practically empty.
Now we should say that mine was too, but that's 12:40 on a Friday and 12:40 on a Saturday. Now maybe your Saturday screening you'd hoped would have been a bit
and
more busy.
also like the only 3D screening of the day. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So yeah, about third full, I'd say.
mine had 6 people in it.
So I was really excited at the beginning, and then the fear crept in almost immediately when I realised it's kind of just directly after the last film, which I don't like when filmmakers do that because there's some sort of expectation in here from James Cameron that I've just rewatched the second one, and trust me, buddy, nobody's rewatching the second one, right?
You need, if you're listening to this and you do want to see it,
watch a recap.
watch a recap
Yeah.
because it is literally a direct continuation.
Luckily though, I hadn't watched a recap, and it turns out it didn't matter because like there's no plot. I was so disappointed by this film because you know the way it's called Fire and Ash, it's still all like almost all in the
No
water
Fire and Ash.
world.
This is the same movie as the second
yeah,
one.
it's the same film, it's the same setting, couple of new characters. It's I would say almost, now I don't quote me on this because I don't really remember the last film, but like I would say almost beat for beat similar stories from the first two.
It's the
Like
same.
he's had 11 years to write these films, or however long he's been writing them, 100 years, I don't know. The stories let them down. The dialogue is diabolical.
Every third word is bro.
So these are like presumably some form of like evolved being, right? First of all, I hate the idea that this like white man has come in and he's kind of like
The savior.
the leader.
It's
the
classic
savior,
white
right?
man
Yeah.
savior.
Hate
thing,
that,
yeah,
right? And he's kind of taken their skin and wearing their skin, and is like, you know,
yeah. It's cultural appropriation.
it's
en
unbelievable.
masse.
There's
He's their savior.
plot
He's their
issues
hero.
that I'll get into on Spoiler Street, but this is word for word dialogue from this film. Oh man, I really need a whiz. I really got a leak. Another one. Oh, you butthole. And then multiple times it'd just be, bro, hey bro, how you doing, bro? You okay, bro? It's like, am I watching
Bro,
Wayne's World?
we gotta go, bro.
It's like the dialogue is so bad, right? And then you forgive the dialogue a little bit. I can be like, look, James Cameron cannot write young people. However, Sigourney Weaver, a woman in her 70s, is also playing one of the young people, so she has the voice of a 70-year-old woman. As now she's not using the bro language, but she just feels so misplaced. Sully, I hate him with every breath of my being. Can't stand him. I feel like I used to like him at some point, but I don't like him anymore. As ever, I find the Avatar look and feel like very cool, and like, you know, technically I can marvel at it, but I would rather watch a film shot on someone's iPhone with a brilliant plot for 90 minutes. That actually, I feel like my time was I'm really pissed off. Like, I didn't want to go anyway. You made me go, Dave. I won't forgive you.
The podcast made you go.
The Saturday before Christmas, I wasted the whole afternoon at this film. Granted, I slept for about 40 minutes, which was welcome. And I just was so bored, and all around me, every like 10 minutes, I could just hear someone go, oh.
Really?
Like the whole audience was sighing. People were picking up their phones. People were just, like, everyone was bored.
Don't do that, people.
There's one or
I don't
two,
care how bored you are.
One or two lines in the film that, like, I think should have elicited a joke, not a beat of a laugh from the audience. We'll wait till spoilers for the rest, but I think I'm so disappointed. Like, why can't James Cameron use his considerable skills? Like, this man has made some incredible films, and just make a film that has a story and characters and isn't just this, like, it's essentially, like, as I said earlier, it's just a theme park ride. Like, that's what we're doing here. And there's no fire and ash in this film.
No fire and
just
ash.
The underwater world. Right,
we paid for fire and ash.
I paid for, okay, there's some fire, there is zero ash.
There's
no ash.
Well, the ash is the name of a group of people. So.
All sorts of issues with the villain that I'll get into. No, there's a new villain who's quite cool.
She's great.
And then another
underused.
Villain
Talk about it in spoiler.
Yeah, and then another villain who's very fucking familiar, and we'll talk about him as well. Right, Dave?
Right, this movie's terrible. But I should say, caveat, it looks incredible, and this is clearly like an insane amount of work and visual effects, and visual effects artists would have worked on this for
and it's weta in New Zealand.
Thousands of hours, and it looks, and well done to all of them, because this movie is incredible. Often, and I was thinking to look at, and often I was thinking, it was reminding me of like other, like a recent, we watched that Indiana Jones film, and you know when they do the de-age technology on Harrison Ford for that opening bit, and so we watched a 20-minute, like, I feel like I spent a lot of that staring at the effects and saying, oh, that doesn't quite look right. Oh, no, that looks pretty good there. You know, you're thinking about the effects. Like, this is a fully realized world in which at no point did I ever notice any of the seams between real life and... Now, a lot of it, you could argue, it's 99% animated anyway, but these are real performances.
It looks like documentary footage, though, of this world, Pandora. Like, that's how good it looks.
It's just insanely good looking, and and it is a treat for the eyes, right? But...
Not a treat for the butt.
If you want us to sit there for 3 hours and 20 minutes, that magic trick of how good does this movie look, that wears off quick. You need to be... Yeah, exactly. Number one, they haven't... the leap between Avatar and Avatar 2 was big in terms of technology. 10 years had passed. They did all this underwater stuff. The actors were learning to, like, breathe underwater, and it looks incredible. There were new creature designs. There was a lot of new stuff. They introduced these whales in the second one, and there was this whole plot of this new community in this village. So there was new stuff. Number 3 was shot at the same time as number 2, and it is the same movie. And I don't mean just like the same movie but fire and ash. This is the same movie as the second one. It's a direct continuation with the same characters, the same conflict, and it is going around and around in roundabouts of characters getting abducted, then not being abducted, going back from A to B, back to A again. And a lot of the beats, we'll talk about it in Spoiler Street, not just the beats as in like this is the same story beat. The same thing happens several times that happened in the second movie. The same exact thing.
The strange thing is as well that, like, for a film that is way too long, there's scenes missing because sometimes it leaps from scene to scene and you can't follow what's happening.
There's scenes missing from this movie. You can feel the 4 or 5 hour cut where connective tissue was lost. The plot is boring. I was never at any time invested in the outcome of anything
I
because there
was
are no
praying
stakes.
for them all to die.
I don't care. I don't
wanted
care.
them all dead.
The hugest mistake this movie makes is centering the entire movie around Spider, who is objectively the worst character. And I do not mean to criticize that actor. It is not his fault. It is the fault of the writing and the plotting to put the worst character there is nothing. I don't know who Spider is except he is Poochie from Itchy and Scratchy.
He needs to go for
around.
leaks.
He just goes around saying, "Bro, sick, whiz, dude." And just like goes from A to B. Every single character seems to love him, for no reason. So much of the plot revolves around him. He was the MacGuffin. He was the heart of everyone's character decisions, and the movie asked far too much of that actor, and gave him nothing to work with.
Yeah.
He has no substance at
It's also
all.
at all times in a loincloth, and that's bemusing to me.
He's Tarzan.
Let this poor
It is-
actor put some clothes on.
It's also not fair. Like, every other actor gets a whole like visual effects team behind them to translate their performances and work on them and tweak them. Like, this
none of them are good,
poor
though.
actor is his face is out there and he's got to do all the work. They give him nothing to work
but
with.
Dave, despite the supposed help the others might have gotten, like, none of them are any good anyway.
No, there's nothing. Anyway,
Like, Spider, like, at least is a recognisable face now after this film. Like the other actors who play all the kids, because they're not famous, right? So basically, like, we obviously know Zoe Saldana, we know Kate Winslet, who I once again don't know why she's here, and what's his name, Sam Worthington, like, and obviously Sigourney Weaver. Who are the other actors like? Like, they could do a red carpet event, we wouldn't know. So at least Spider gets the actor gets some recognition out of this at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Albeit he's a white guy with dreadlocks, which is another form of a cultural appropriation. So, like, this film is just like, sorry, I've interrupted you. Continue.
The film's treatment of this alien species. That's the other thing I find I'm sick of now with Pandora. Like, it tries to introduce a new tribe and some new interesting twists, but it just feels like you've just, again, like in real life, culturally appropriated African tribalism or something. Like, it's a white man's perspective of what foreign is, right? What
ooh, a
primitive
foreign
tribe. So, like,
yeah.
going, or like a lot of it was Native American allegories previously, which I know people have. You know, I'm tired of the sort of comparison to Fern Gully. We get it, and Pocahontas, but now they're just dipping their toes into any other culture. Like, this is like literally just like people banging drums and going ooga booga. It's like I found it's like there's something. I don't know. Maybe they did a lot of research and brought in cultural advisors and but
I doubt it.
my position right now is I doubt it too. So
But
it
also, it
just
wasn't even
feels
done
like
well.
exactly. So I'm like, we're on an alien world. You could invent fucking anything.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna give me like, oh, I've seen this on planet Earth, but you just translate what some
You
David
just
Attenborough thing.
What you do is you take the avatars we know already, say the Zoe Saldanas, and then you put red on them.
Yeah, exactly.
And
what
then
about,
they're fire
and then the
people.
alien creatures are, what if whales, but talking, or
Yeah.
what if squids, but with big teeth?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, come on. One of the best shows I've seen in the past few years is Scavenger's Reign, which does the Avatar Pandora world, but how it should be done. That shit is alien, and it is weird, and you don't know how any of it works.
It's
Give
really
me that.
interesting as well, because I feel like the first movie had a really good, strong, and again, I have not seen the first movie since it was made, right? So give me some grace here. Environmental message around humans coming in and destroying the natural world.
Yeah, it's blunt and on the nose,
Yeah.
but it's a worthwhile message.
Now,
Yeah.
in this film, it's kind of a continuation of that, but that messaging is completely lost. And also the irony is not lost on me that James Cameron, a very, very, very wealthy man, is like expelling energy and waste, really. And yes, you can say he's, the likes of Weta Studios and all them are doing incredible work here, which they are. But the amount of money to create this movie that at the end of the day has actually got lost all that and has no message. This movie is so violent. There is so much gun fighting in this film. They aren't in any way deep diving into the environmental aspect or the culture
it's
or
all surface
anything.
level.
So it's all gone. So he can't even say that, like, was he supposed to be some big environmentalist at some point in his day?
Now,
I'm not buying it anymore.
I think, to be fair, I think James Cameron, I don't have any research to hand, but I think he puts his money where his mouth is. I think he does contribute a lot to environmental charities. I think he has his own.
But look at the platform he has, and he's just blowing
No, I
it,
know.
like-
Look, but I know. Look, let's go straight to Spoiler Street because I want to segue onto the violence in this movie
Yeah, the
and
violence
its
was
kind of
shocking.
undercurrent message.
Yeah.
Not that I don't think the film itself is particularly violent, but every problem in this movie is solved with war and fighting.
Yeah, so the film is violent.
So could we do better?
Yeah.
So let's go to. We're going to take a quick ad, which you might hear, and then we're going to go to Spoiler Street.
Actually, before Spoiler Street, can I say one thing?
Yes.
We have a live show coming up in London on January 29th in Hoxton with our very good podcast friend Helen O'Hara. It's a live podcast. We'll be talking all thing rom-coms. So any London listeners, we'd love to see you there. And there's going to be loads of audience interaction as well. And we'll put a link in the show notes to book.
Yes, hope to see you there. We'll stay right there. It'll be a quick ad and then we'll do.
When the holidays start to feel a bit repetitive, reach for a Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry and put your twist on tradition. A bold cranberry and winter spice flavor fusion, Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry is a refreshing way to shake things up this sipping season. And only for a limited time. Sprite, obey your thirst.
Spoiler Street. Right, we're back. Before we do get to Spoiler Street, I'd like to do a quick shout out to some of our new patrons. Well, a quick shout out to all of our patrons, really, for supporting us all this year. So a huge thank you. But
they're the best, and in fact, pretty much of all message saying good luck going to Avatar. We look forward to hearing your reviews because we ain't watching.
Yeah,
it.
and they all said, yeah, we're not going.
Yeah,
so
it's
thanks.
so interesting. Like, no
I
one's
can't
going.
wait to see the box office on
Yeah,
this.
no, it's still doing well in the box office,
Is it?
but it's just not like it's never gonna. I don't think
It must have so much to
reach
recoup.
its previous heights. Yeah.
And also, we should say, 4 and 5 haven't been shot yet. I think he's shot some footage for 4, but they are dependent on the appetite and sort of success of these 2 and 3. So I don't think I don't know. Who knows if we'll ever get a 4 and 5?
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. Right. But a big thank you to our new patrons who are Davey Grihan, Christy Davis, Harry, Joe Brown, George O'Mahony, Lauren Pinnington, Adam Greyskull, what a name, and
Amazing.
Munster Mad. Thank you, all of you, for donating for the price of a cup of coffee a month and getting access to monthly retro movie reviews. You can go up right now and listen to.
I think there's like 80 of them now.
No, there's like 60 or 70, but there's loads. I mean, that's
loads.
so many, and every month there's a new one that you get to vote on, and we do weekly Pluribus episodes. One of the best shows on TV right now.
And every episode of the new season of
Stranger Things,
right.
which we'll be releasing over Christmas
Over
and the
Christmas
New
too,
Year's.
yeah.
Right.
Spoilers.
Avatar. Right. I want to pick up at a thread that you just said around this whole, the violence in it. There's a scene in this movie, and I'm presume that everyone listening to this hasn't watched it, sounds like, so I'm just going to explain it. So the whales from the second
But if
one.
you do want to watch it, we are going to spoil it now.
Yeah, spoilers. Right, the whales from the second one, or whatever they're called, they're back because this movie is the same as the
That's
second
why I
one.
was so bored. I was like, I thought we were done. They're called toucans.
Toucans,
I
thank
thought
you.
we were done with the toucans.
And then the whales are like, we're not going to fight because we're pacifists. And then what? And then they have a big meeting, and the fucking annoying teenager who has no plot in this movie except, please let this guy back in.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to do a big speech like my dad. And the speech is terrible. And the speech is just like, his tribe got attacked by the humans, and so you should fight the humans, even though they know the humans have been attacking them and fighting them.
Like, the
for
humans in
ages.
this movie are terrible.
So we now got a movie which is like, here's a peaceful nation, and they say something, a nice line of dialogue, which is something like, fighting just creates more fighting and creates more violence, and it's an ending loop of violence. And I was like, yeah, you're right. But then Sully goes,
Sully with the machine gun.
yeah, but we gotta fight because we gotta have a big third act. And then the whales are just like, of course they show up like Gandalf on the white horse.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but like, that was a great we did this already. At the end of this movie is the same climactic fight from the second one.
Yeah, that's when I really
literally
started.
the same.
I really started remembering the second film as the third one was playing.
Yeah, because
I'm like, oh, I've seen this before. This is already Jermaine Clements in a ship hunting whales. Yeah, I've seen this already.
Yeah, it's literally the people from the second one, the same guy. Now he's got a robot arm, so I guess it's different.
I was confused when I actually looked on IMDb before I went in to see like what new actors were going to be in it, because I knew I wouldn't recognise them. I was shocked to see it was indeed all the same actors.
It's all the same.
Except for this new woman called Una, who's amazing.
And she's great. And by the way...
But that was my first shock and my first sense of dread to walk in and go, oh my God, why are Jermaine Clements and Kate Winslet in this? Is it going to be a continuation directly of the second one?
But that story was done. Mm-hmm. And what they did is this movie, to explain the plot, like from beginning to end, it's like, there is no, it goes nowhere. It goes A to B, back to A, back to B, back to A.
They brought back the villain from the dead. What's
again,
his name?
Quaritch,
which I don't want to spoil, but like, and they make just to.
But did he die at the end of the second one
I'm pretty
again?
sure Quaritch has died a few times now, so it's like, okay, great.
Because there's a line in this where Sully's like, "But I killed you."
But I need to speak on the Quaritch thing for a minute.
Okay, go on.
So he's obviously a brilliant villain, right? We love him. But like,
Stephen Lang is great.
So Quaritch is here. He's alive again. His son is Spider. Him and Sully actually kind of team up because Spider has this issue where he can't breathe in Pandora because he's a human.
Pretty good initial conflict. Like, how's he going to breathe?
And his oxygen mask about to run out, and both Spider and the Sully kids are on the run from this like fire tribe, right? Who again?
Fire tribe, very good. I thought the first 40 minutes of this was pretty good, actually.
I liked the fire tribe initially. So then Sully and Quaritch team up, which is quite fun, and they go and hunt the kids together. And then they're with the kids. They find them. And then, unless I've blacked out, which could have happened, the next scene, Sully's back with the Quaritch is back with the humans going...
And they're back in the village.
We need to hunt Sully because my son is able to breathe air in Pandora now because of this magic witchcraft that Sigourney Weaver did on him. So if he can breathe air, every human can breathe air, and then we can fully colonize the world. I'm like, but you were just with them a minute ago, though. And that was the first example of many, many cuts.
Yeah, where the connective tissue was missing. Like, how did you get here?
Like,
I had several moments where I was like dizzy from characters just being in a different place.
I'm both like, this film's way too long, and they should have cut half of it to also being like, but you left out scenes whereby it then makes no sense. And then there's the kind of whole plot of the film, really, as Dave said, like Spider's the MacGuffin. Basically, this kid, who again is it's a hopelessly dull plot. He can breathe in Pandora. He's like growing one of those avatar kind of tail thingies that connects to your hair. They're all trying to find Spider so that they can colonize. But like, I feel like they capture a new Spider about 8 times in this film.
Yes, and Kathy, this is, for anyone who saw the second one, this exact same thing happened. They captured Spider, the humans captured Spider, and then they put him in a cell and then put him on a treadmill. I was like, I've seen this. and then he's in the cell, and then his dad comes in and has a heart-to-heart with him and says, I'm your dad and we should be friends. Happened. That scene happened in the second one.
I felt like
it just happened again. And then guess what?
Vu.
And then guess what happened next? Spider escaped and went back to the village. Oh my God, the same fucking thing.
And again,
it's just like, and by the way, the beginning
down.
of this movie is the driving force of this movie, and you need a driving force. The driving force of the second movie is this family is on the run.
Yeah.
And you've got to hide. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter now in this movie. What are they hiding from? Because anytime they get found, they just go back to the village and nobody cares. So the driving force of this movie starts is like, oh no, Spider can't breathe. That's good, right? What are we going to do about that? That's interesting. Good. But then it's like,
immediately resolved.
How about this other dilemma, which is interesting to a point, which is, what do we do with Spider? Jake Sully wants to give Spider up. No, Neytiri wants to give Spider up. Jake Sully is like, no, he's on the fence because the kids love him, right? And so what he says is, we're going to ship Spider off via these air people who got short shrift. There's a whole other thing which might have been interesting. Nothing happened there. Pretty good action scene, but like, so we're gonna ship.
As soon as that action scene, I thought, oh dear God.
I thought it was good.
I was so bored.
So they're like, we're gonna ship him off secretly with them, and the kids are like, no, you can't do that. We love Spider. Don't do that. And then instead, Jake Sully's like, okay, I've figured it out. We'll all bring Spider. The whole family will go. Mm-hmm. It'll be an adventure, and everyone's like, yay! And I'm like, excuse me, what? How have you resolved anything? You're still bringing him off. You're still shipping him off.
But listen,
what are you talking about?
Literally, this is like the first 5 minutes of the film. We cannot get into how dull the Spider stuff is because we'll talk about it forever. But the idea that he's a human who can now breathe in the air of Pandora is theoretically interesting. The execution is mind-numbing. The Sigourney Weaver character is deadly dull.
How about when they all get reunited with Spider and they're all like, whoa, bro, you can breathe? And he goes, oh yeah, I forgot. The whole air thing, not a problem.
Yeah, and that's literally how James Cameron or whoever wrote that hand waved away the entire plot of the first act of the film. Not a problem anymore. Hey, butthole. When he was like, like one of the big scenes, which I like the idea of, which is that like Jake Sully is like, and his wife are like, we need to murder Spider because if all the humans get this technology whereby they can
that's an interesting
breathe
conflict.
in Pandora, they'll immediately destroy Pandora because that's all the humans want to do. And by the way, I loved Edie Falcone in this. She's so fun.
And by the way, yeah, we were like, do it.
So
Kill
I was
Spider.
I was watching
Let's
it
go.
like, oh my god, kill Spider, kill Spider, kill Spider. When Spider's like, I need a leak, bro, I need a stop, I need a piss, and I was like, kill him. Didn't kill him, brought him back. I'm like, but he's a
I
fundamental
thought, for a
threat.
minute, I woke up and I was like, because I didn't fall asleep, but I was on the edge of it so often. I was like, I woke up in that moment and I was like, oh my God, is he gonna, I actually thought, is this movie gonna go somewhere interesting? Is he gonna kill Spider? And then Jake Sully has to reckon with
Yeah, I would love that.
and his kids. That's interesting
Yeah.
stuff.
Because he called him dad as well.
That's
Spider called him
really
dad,
dark
yeah.
and really interesting. But however, to be fair, this film is like 12A sort of PG-13. Well, like it does have to appeal to a broad audience. I think it is too dark to have the dad kill Spider.
I know, it would have been
That
fun, though.
was too much.
I really enjoyed the mom.
But I would have loved
The
it.
mom is like understandably against humans.
Yeah.
Zoe Saldana's character. So she's like, I love how she calls them pink skins.
Oh, that was an
Yeah,
interesting
that was
thread.
really interesting. She's like, I hate pink skins. They're disgusting. I hate their hands. And then there was a really interesting thing where Jake's like, but I'm a pink skin, so
Yeah.
your kids are half pink skin, so whenever they act differently, it's because of who they are. And like, how do you reckon with that, where you hate a race because of what they've done to you, but also your husband is that race, and then your kids are half that race?
That's interesting.
Fascinating,
Yeah.
lost in the film.
Yeah. You get one scene where it tackles it, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
But then it's like the rest of the movie is, we must go to war.
Yeah.
If only the whales would come and
Let's
fight
just-
with
how
us.
many guns can Jake Sully get his hands on? Now, finally, we do need to talk about the new villain, the Fire Lady.
She's great.
Loved her.
Really good sort of, and I liked how they developed her and Quaritch together and this uneasy alliance.
They're like a badass, like
They're
power
badass,
couple.
and I thought this
Yeah.
was all very interesting. However, it's really good up until about halfway through the film
Yeah.
when they get benched. They absolutely get sidelined and become Quaritch's essentially his pets.
But also
And-
Quaritch, which is quite cool, like he brings himself to her almost as a sacrifice and says like, I'm here to help you because she loves guns, and he's like, I'm bringing you loads of guns. So I loved that scene, and I loved all the scene with her and Quaritch, right? I really thought they were so cool together, really fun. However, again, from a plot perspective, it ruined the story because it's like, oh well, they're all just using guns now.
Yeah.
And like, we don't need to see guns. We watch movies in the real world all the time. Guns
And
are one
also-
of the biggest problems in the world right now.
But also
why do I want to watch it in a fantasy world?
in the universe of the movie, I understand the main advantage I understood of for the humans of teaming up with the Ash, as they were called, is that they were able to, she was able to sort of power move with someone else's tentacle and then get information out of them as to where this village was. So that's fine. But beyond that, there's no benefit to the humans of having an armed tribe they can't control because
Yeah.
they have all guns and weapons anyway.
Yeah, it just.
So there's
Also,
no
on
there's no
Quaritch, right?
tactical
There's
advantage.
scenes with Quaritch where he's like in bed with her, right? And they're like, and then next minute he's in the army base wearing clothes over his blue skin. Then he's back in bed with her again. Then he's out. It's like, what's
But there's
Quaritch
one point.
up to?
There's
Like,
one
what's
point.
he up to?
There's one point where Quaritch is just in the briefing room with Edie Falco, and he's just wearing full tribal garb, and we're like, "How did he get
Yeah.
here?
And then
Like
in
you
another
haven't
scene-
given us enough."
It's basically like if Jack Reacher was an avatar. Like, I just couldn't believe when he was in the army scenes, then he was back there. It's like, does he live in the open Pandora world, or is he in the army living in the army world? And that's the. And
But
I don't
think-
have the answer to
I
that.
think they're trying to do something that's character development because Sully keeps telling Quaritch,
Open your
eyes, and there's a world here, and Quaritch is kind of on that journey. He's going native, but with the wrong influence, and there is something he has moved away from the humans to that extent. But I'm like, there's
But it
something
never
there.
lands,
But I'm
though.
like, it doesn't land.
And
Nothing
then they have
lands
a
in this
final.
movie.
Okay, so the like 8th battle between him and Sully, which was so boring. And
It's so
another
boring
thing
because
about
we've
Spider-
seen this 100 times.
And they have a big fight and they're fighting to death and blah blah blah, and then Spider falls over and they work together to rescue Spider again, and then Quaritch just throws himself off the side
Why
of a
did he
rock,
throw himself off the side
never
of a rock?
to be mentioned again. And I'm like,
But
so
obviously he's
not
going to be
dead.
back because he doesn't die because they've established that there is no stakes here.
Yeah, no, there were stakes because like Jake's son did die in the last film, but with Quaritch there are no stakes. So basically, Quaritch just throws himself off a rock. We're like, okay, and then like Kate Winslet character, don't know why she's in this film. At one point, she's like, I am dying, but first I must give birth to this child. It's like, okay, that's a horrible plot. And then we see the cutest little Avatar baby ever. But then that goes nowhere. And then, Sigourney Weaver can commune with Mother Nature again. I don't care. Like, the end of the film is not nice. It's so violent. It's, the Sullys bringing the tribes back together again. He's a man. He's not one of you. Like, it's not right that he's, like, integrated with you. I don't think at all.
Yeah,
he's wrought nothing but terror on this planet.
It's such a bad trope in movies. Tom Cruise, The Last Samurai, you know, this white man savior coming to only the outsider can teach us our own ways.
I just hate that, like, I just can't believe all the machine guns in this film. Like, sorry to go on about it, but, like, I'm not watching a film set in a beautiful alien universe for that, you know? So I just think James Cameron has lost the absolute run of himself. Yes, it truly looks like documentary footage of another planet because it's so beautifully shot. But like at a core of a film, we need a good story. We need good characters, and this doesn't have that.
It's the same. I just couldn't believe we watched the same action scenes over and over again from the last.
When Jermaine Clement showed up, I was like, what? And then he disappeared halfway through the movie. He
disappears. Like, there's a whole thing he has with Sully. And then he goes, come with me. And he can't. And they get separated. And I was like, well, I guess they'll close out that with a scene later where we see him in prison or we see him reconnecting with the humans who like the avatars out in there. And I'm like, no, he's just gone.
What about Phoebe's brother from Friends being like a bad army guy? Is he
Giovanni
in the second
Ribisi is in all 3 movies.
Okay, I don't even remember that.
Yeah.
So there's only a few new characters in this. Anyway, we are going to have to go now. We wasted 8 hours of our lives.
What a waste of time.
8 hours of our lives this weekend. We have actually already recorded our biggest and most popular episode of the year, our best movies and worst of 2025. And we've also recorded our best and worst TV of 2025. It is our 10th year doing that, which kind of blew our minds. So to celebrate, we recorded it in a studio, which we've never done before. We've recorded that episode on literally planes, trains and automobiles. We said we'll try doing it in a studio for fun, and we're going to actually, because we can't normally record our podcast because we're walking around. So if you subscribe to our YouTube channel now, or if you look on Spotify video, that will be out next Sunday. You can see us in the flesh. But hilariously, we recorded it before Avatar with just a really clear idea that it wouldn't end up on any lists of the year. And I think I can confirm, yes, it wouldn't have ended up on any lists that I had, good, bad or indifferent, because it's just a big massive mess.
I wouldn't have mentioned it at all because I wasn't disappointed as such because I didn't have high hopes.
It's not the worst movie
It's not the worst movie of the year. It's just boring and pointless.
But we'll see you next week, so we'll have our best movies of the year out first, so that will be next Sunday, and then soon followed after by our best and worst TV of the year. And you'll hear from our patrons at the end of those episodes too, because they have a ton of recommendations. So yeah, thanks.
Sorry, I've just remembered one last thing. Another thing at the end of this movie that happened in the end of the second movie was the little girl who gets no plot at all.
I love her. She's so cute.
She's cute, but like she gets end up on her own because they all leave her, and then she gets kidnapped by a bad guy and is being threatened by Stephen Lang and is being threatened. And then they have to go and save her. That happened in the second one as well. There was a big fiery, and there was a big sort of sneaking around a ship that was exploding and going underwater. I was like, I cannot believe that it's the same exact round loop-de-loop plot.
So it's the longest one yet, it's the worst one yet, it's the most boring one yet, and I probably have said this before, but I'll say it again, I'm not watching another Avatar movie, and Dave, you can divorce me.
I don't think I will.
Not doing
I actually don't
podcast.
think I will.
Yeah.
If I don't think it'll get made. Anyway, thank you for listening, and thank you for all the support this year. Enjoy our best movies of TV episodes, which are coming out over the next couple of weeks.
We have a ton of recommendations in those, and a lot of movies and TV we'll talk about we haven't actually covered on the podcast, so you'll get kind of different recommendations there as well. So yeah, subscribe to our YouTube, which we obviously never do anything on, but we will finally have something on it next week. See you there.
Bye.
My name is Percy Jackson. Getting in trouble is like breathing for me.
The hit series returns to Disney Plus and Hulu.
The danger is greater than you can possibly imagine.
What about Grover? Save Grover. Save camp.
Percy Jackson and the Olympians. New season now on Disney Plus and Hulu. Learn more at disneyplus.com/what's on.